All right. I don't know what else I should have open. Guess we'll wait a minute. Let me check socials. See if it started. Oh, comments. Okay. Oh.
You get that mechanical typing
Okay,
going.
I just got the notification that I'm live on Twitch. Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Okay, it's on Twitter. I'm trying to figure out. Thank you so much, Susie. I was trying to figure out how the comments showed up on my end. Cool. So Susie is on YouTube. My Twitch is also available. Checking. Okay, we're live on LinkedIn. And obviously we're live. Hello. And obviously we're live on YouTube. Okay, cool. Renee, Susie, and Jordan. This is Rachel, aka Ray. Yeah. It was her birthday yesterday, so everyone should say happy birthday. Hi, Seth. Hi, Ruth.
It is Ruth.
Okay, so this is my friend Ray. We have known each other on Twitter. I feel like it's been over a year, but we have no recollection of when we became friends on Twitter.
Yeah.
But we got to meet in person in Columbus, coincidentally enough, just in time for her to be the very first person on She Ships. Ray, you want to tell us about yourself?
Sure. I'm like a self-taught, call myself the developer. Um, my husband and I co-founded uh, like a small business called well, we had a couple of different things. Like we have stuff in blockchain, some other stuff that for like a podcast. I don't really want to like share all of that though, just because there's a lot of stuff we can cover like through the questions. My main focus is on blockchain though, where we do a lot of like Web3 stuff, and I hope hopefully I can help people how to also program using this blockchain. I also like to do other crazy stuff like ghost hunting.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that part of the conversation.
And I was telling Roxy I tend to ramble a lot. Like I'm already doing it, so I'm.
No
But
worries.
yeah.
So in person, I admitted that anytime I saw like a job posting that mentioned blockchain or anything, I was like, nope, I have no idea about that. So if you would like to attempt to summarize it really quick for anyone who's also unaware. But if not, I know you also mentioned that you do back-end work in Django.
Sure. Yeah. So with the blockchain, I work at BSV. It's not NFTs like you're probably what you think of when you hear someone talk about blockchain. It's more of ledgers. So you keep track of records online, and they're immutable, so you can't change them. And that's what's really important about it. The back end stuff, I love Django. That's how I started. Um, and but using Linux, I think it's kind of natural. You kind of use Django too, but that's my other answer for that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. And I just I know that this is a talent that I am building because paying attention to the chat while paying attention to you is difficult.
I see a blockchain for babies.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny.
And you got some birthday messages.
Oh,
So awesome. And I believe now, did you study programming or computer science, or like how did you make your way into this world?
so my group of friends, they are computer science mostly. Some were also self-taught, and then they got pushed into like network engineering jobs. This was like in the early 2000s. Um, and I was really interested in building a computer and using Linux. I had never actually had a Windows machine until later when I wanted to play video games. So it was kind of backwards. So like I remember one of my like college classes, I had a DOS class, and the what was it? It's like the forward slash or the backslash. I had it backwards because I was used to using Linux all the time in the terminal, so I would get all that stuff confused. Um, but with and see like what I was always in tech. Like my parents liked to play video games when I was little, like the old Atari. We would go to the local arcade and play it like over the weekends and play. And I always wanted to know like how video games work. So that's kind of like what drove me towards, like getting into this. And then and then everything kind of just like happened at once where we had access to the internet. And that was, or like high speed internet. That was probably like the year 2000 is when I think built my first computer. I was a little
Wow,
late in that, but I
that's
was also
awesome.
like probably one of the last people that had dial up too, because I lived out in the country. All my friends had high speed internet, and I had dial up. Um,
That's awesome. My parents did not let me play video games. Um,
oh
so
no.
that's cool that your parents played with you. Um, so you also have some amazing animals that I saw. I wanted to bring it up earlier when I saw your cat walking in the corner. Totally off
Oh, he's
topic if you want to tell us about them because the photos that you post of them are gorgeous.
there's a Kelly. She's a Maine Coon. I think she's 6 years old. And then Melly, my daughter named them, so she wanted them to rhyme. Melly's a Boston Terrier. He's my shadow, so he's always like. Usually he's on my feet, but he likes to lay over there because it's getting warmer out again.
Yes, yeah, we love to see them. And if you want to show them later towards the end, everybody I know at least in the tort community, they love to see animals. We have a lot of pet stickers and stuff. Um, Now I also know you are a mother. How did that impact your journey?
That was probably like the hardest part, because you get like this huge guilt for like for me, like I feel like I'm playing on my computer like like a video game or something, and um I didn't want to have her think like that's like I'm playing all the time. But so like when she was younger, it was a little harder because they didn't completely understand. She didn't completely understand like what I was doing, and then I got her involved with a game that my husband and I worked on with the V team, and that was a game called Molly Match, and that was an NFT game, but it wasn't crazy like with all the drama you see online about that kind of stuff. But she drew pictures of the cats, and we showed her how to use like Linux and how to like, what I had set up for her was a Raspberry Pi connected to the TV, and so she would play around in Python, and we would play just like different stuff on the Raspberry Pi for her. But um, but yeah, like what was hard was trying to you know to balance that time of like not feel like you're spending all this time here trying to learn everything, but then also this is usually in the summertime, like when you're on break. But that I think that was probably the hardest, is just like feeling like how much, should I be doing this? How much time should I put aside for this versus like also family life and all that.
Yeah, the kids, they're going on summer break in a month, and I'm wondering how that's gonna go. Because
Yeah,
like, it was harder when my office was in the front room of the house because it's, like, traffic all day, every day, but now I'm in the loft upstairs, and so they'll yell, like, "Can I come up there?" But I can also
yeah,
hear them fighting because it's, like, a balcony type area, so, it's hard. I don't know, we'll see how that goes.
yeah.
Any,
There's different levels of
any advice
like,
for, like, when to, like, come downstairs or, like, cut it off like that
right, yeah. There's like
is
different levels
welcome.
of earphones. So like I can't hear very well with these in, but then I got another pair that I put in because just in case I know like when kids are gonna come over. Because I used to do some interviews where someone would just like come in and not realize I was on, because they just didn't hear me. But
Yes. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Whenever I was interviewing, when my office was in the front room, I'd always be like, "No, don't come this way." Um, let's see. What okay, I have some, like, deeper questions if you're ready to go there. We're like,
Yeah.
I told Ray already, like, she's my guinea pig because, like, our conversation flowed naturally in person, but now there's an audience. So
Yeah. With
so
I
we have some questions just in case. Yeah. No, Jeff, we're gonna go all in. Um, okay. So since we're talking about, like, your journey and how mother impacted you and everything, what was a skill from your life, maybe from before tech, that you underestimated, but you can't imagine, like, not using it now in your current role?
I'm a very stubborn person. So I my husband actually told me that I there are no doors for me, that I just walk through them. And that's like I think a good example of this, because before I got into tech, like it was more, a hobby. And I worked in retail for a long time. But I was always like, if I knew there was something I was really interested in, I would do it. I would fail at it, because I know you're eventually get better. You always have to, and it's up everybody. You have to, um, for something that looks like hard to do, you still gotta try like chunks of it first, and then but you eventually get to know what you're doing and what it is. But I think my stubbornness is what kept me going, because I'm
So
always
you said I
pushing.
really liked what you said right at the beginning. You said, "There are no doors for me. I just walk through." And that's
Yeah.
because you're stubborn, right?
Yes. Yeah. Where
And
I
so
just
is that sort of like is that sort of like you're more confident, or like
probably more just,
you're gonna dive into the challenges?
I would say probably more just like, I don't want to say stupid, but I just very hard headed, where like I'll jump into like a program and I don't know what I'm doing. I'll break it. And I'll keep going until something else changes.
Oh,
I won't walk away and like abandon it. I don't like abandoning
okay.
things.
I got you now.
Um,
So more like
so
Hulk
stuff like
smash
that.
than like
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was so stuck on that the way that sentence sounded. I'm sorry, I got a
He should
little
have said
I was
like,
like, "I
I
really
just
like
break
that."
through doors, maybe
Yeah,
that.
oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, I like
Maybe.
that. I like that a lot more. We like the Hulk. Um, yeah, and then so I don't know if I sent these to you, but I feel like that kinda goes hand in hand with, like, what did you have to stop believing about yourself, like, in order to move forward, especially, like, as someone transitioning into tech and, as a woman in tech.
Yeah, that's a good question, especially with my birthday. Um, so that was more about like, I had to stop believing that not behind on everything, because you're always going to feel that when you talk to somebody new and you find,
That's hard,
and
yeah.
they're doing something that you don't know what it is, and so over your head. And I had to stop having that mindset, because because if I focus on that, it just makes you not want to, continue at all. I just want to like get into something different. But yeah, that was probably like the biggest issue that I had. The other thing too, I put my notes down for this one, where I was diagnosed with ADHD. Probably I think in my early 30s. And then that really opened up a lot of different things to understand, like how I can manage every day. Um, and I mean, there's some like there's good things and bad things about it. So like the good things is I get into different idea, or I have all these ideas and then I jump into them. The bad parts are now I have all these things that I want to complete, or I get bored with the stuff that's not as like shiny and new. But I think it's like I think it's a good personality trait. It's probably not a good description or word for that, but it's not something you can get rid of.
Cool. um, and let's see. Sorry, y'all. I should have gone through these to see how they would flow best. Um, so we talked about your daughter. What is your support system your family, or like who else does it involve? I know you have a very supportive online community, because as soon as we shared that you were going to be here, like we got a lot of action.
Yeah, I saw Ruth's in here. She's one of them. So like that's part of the crypto. It's a smaller community for BSV, and they invited me into the BSV Association, and we actually there's a group of ladies where we meet once a week and have like a video call, and we just have like we talk about tech, but we also have like a sisterhood where we just talk about anything that's that you want to get off your chest. Yeah, just Bridget's one of them too.
That's awesome. So is it sort of
One
like a
group.
virtual happy hour?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it feels like. And they I do love, like, whenever we join, we always have one thing to teach each other that we learned, either through mainly through tech. Like we do use a lot of different AI tools. Like I was very against AI in the beginning, um, and it took a while for me to to jump on board. And Bridget and Ruth both showed me different tools that I could get into, and then not feel like I'm losing that skill with that. If I decided to turn off using Chat GPT or whatever, that's that people like to use right now.
Yes, yeah, I feel like a lot of us were against it at first,
Mhm.
and maybe still are. Um, and so I guess since it sounds like you have an amazing support system, what does a bad day look like for you? How do you recover? Like, do they help you with that, or do you have, I don't know, I keep emotional support chocolate in my backpack. Like, what do
Oh,
you
that's
do?
I do like Reese cups all the time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you do really. Yeah, it's with that group too. My pets, and I think about my daughter a lot, because um, we all are role models to anybody in your life, and so I don't want to when something isn't going right, I try not to look at it as a negative thing. But it's hard. Sometimes you gotta be upset. You just kind of have to wait it out. But yeah, those days I just kind of I have like the luxury to just come up in here or go outside when it's nice out and cool off. have a little
Yeah.
have a little time out.
Touch grass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Ray and I also bonded over being gym rats. I
Yeah,
wouldn't really
I
consider myself a gym rat, but I feel like you definitely like have more of a hardcore routine than I do.
well, you it's funny, like you started it before I was even, like I was thinking about joining a gym, and then I was looking at Planet Fitness, and then I saw like you just like, posted all these cool pictures of you doing you're upside down on a rope. And I'm like, there's no way I can do that.
I miss
But I
it.
know I
I
can. Yeah, it's like I know I can lift a weight, but I don't think I can climb a rope. But I like, but that helped like push me to get in because there's a lot of like social media on, especially on Instagram, where they seem way too like you have to be perfect.
Oh yes.
And with you, like you have kids, so like you can't just there's a lot of stuff you gotta like plan out ahead of time. You can't just go out there and post pictures of yourself like what you see on online all the time. Um, so yeah, that's what I like about you. Like it's like you do it, and then I'm like, yes, I need to. That's what I need to do. I just whenever something where I feel like with like going to the gym, like I feel like having to throw my gym clothes and drive out there would be a lot to just a lot of extra work that gets in the way of coding.
Mhm.
And so so I take that, so that 45 minutes like 3 times a week is what I'm doing now. But yeah, like people like you is what kind of helps push me to keep doing it, because I'm like I'm not doing it alone. That's how I feel.
Thank you. Yeah, because I was gonna ask if that's kind of part of your support. Because I know for me, you're right, it is like a sacrifice of time taken away from when you could be working or, something else. But I feel like
Mm.
is it helps more than it hinders in the long run, unless you mess up your ankle.
I know. Yeah.
But overall, yeah, like I feel like it definitely helps start my day, like at
Yeah.
least for me. Because do you go
Yeah.
in the morning or in the afternoon?
I go in the morning, like
Okay,
it's after
yeah,
my
yeah.
kid goes to school, so I do it after
Okay.
she's out. It does help. Like I feel better than because before I was just sitting all the time and maybe taking walks. But and especially when you get older, your strength training is great for your bones, so you don't break your hip
Yeah.
in your 60s.
And
But
I'm
yeah,
so
I
sorry.
gotta that's okay.
Okay. No, no, no. I just was like, shoot, we need to like, okay, just checking the chat to make sure I didn't miss like a question or something. Um, or an insult, Jeff, that I posted. That's not how I hurt my ankle. um, okay, so we went over so okay, let's kind of since we have just 6 minutes left, let's without I'm like without being like controversial or anything, I want to know like it's you go to a conference, even the meetup that we hung out at. Like we were one of 3 women in a group of like it's what was it like 6 men, which actually was pretty good odds. But
Yeah.
like how does it how does it feel or how do you handle yourself in those situations where like this is a field where it's just like mostly men? Like how do you show up?
Um, that's a kind of a hard question for me because I'm the odd one out where I was always around men, or like as a kid, boys, because I liked video games. So there was a and the problem though too is like a lot of parents didn't push their kids to like girls to play video games. But my parents they didn't care. They let me do that, and so like I always end up having a lot of male friends. But like at a tech conference or even in a job, it's a little different. Um, that's I don't know. I think it's because I'm older and I'm just more blunt and don't like I talk to strangers, so like having being like the only woman in a group of men, I see them more as mentors. So like I would ask them questions and to help me understand like something that I want to get into. But I've also never really had to deal with harassment or anything like that. I know that's really big too, like where women don't even, um, they can't really get to that point of asking somebody a question because, they don't want some kind of backlash to happen. I don't know,
So
but
no. I know. I love that like it's kind of like a non-issue for you because you've seems like you're used to being around mostly men, right? So it's like you
yeah,
I don't know, it's like you almost don't see it. Is that what you're sort of
I didn't see it until it really just it is this can sound silly, but I was reading what was it called? Like Lean In. It's by the lady that was an owner or that worked for Facebook. I forget her name, Cheryl Sandberg. Or I forget her name, but she wrote a lot about how women, like weren't being paid as high, the same as men are in a workplace, and but really you just have to be loud and get that they don't worry about being the only person, women in there. If you I don't think men that are in tech, they what people enjoy is being able to share like their passions, and that's like how I see everybody. I don't see it as a deterrent. Like I think for like women, maybe the hard part is uh, getting them to I guess getting your friends that are female to come in with you, because that's actually what's hard for me is like when I go to Linux Fest, like to my friends that would be boring, that are girls. And so you have to find ways to that's how you have to find ways to include more people that are um women to go with you, but you have to find like what's something that they can get out of it besides just hanging out with you.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I don't know if this is sort of the same for you, but I mean, I do notice if there aren't too many women in the room, and if I remember, I did go to an event one time, and someone was like, "Yay, another girl!" and like we just kind of hung out. But I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know if it's just being so busy as a mom and like just having a lot of other things going on in your life. I almost feel like, yeah, it's stressful, but it's almost like a blessing because I don't have time to focus on the imposter syndrome and the fact that like, being the only woman in a room
Hmm.
might it might make some people feel small.
Yeah.
Disregard the fact that we're both small people in in general. You're like
I know.
you're like an inch taller than me or something.
I know if you're the first person that is, I was like, you are taller than me. It's like, 'cause I'm 5'1". So, and people say that's short, but then I was like, oh, okay, like you're like the same height as me. I think like what we probably like you and I experienced and other women have experienced, and maybe I'm generalizing, but men like to dominate conversations,
Yeah.
especially if you're trying to, as a woman, you're trying to ask questions and learn. But how do you get the guy to stop talking at a point where you can, jump in? But I'm used to like
Not all
these
men,
old,
by the way.
yeah, yeah, oh man, sorry. I'm used to these old not guys. They like my husband and his friends that helped mentor me. They were older than us, and they were assholes, but like they also taught me like uh, I can just interrupt them and be the same as them. And that's okay. I think maybe maybe something we just got to do is just be loud.
Yeah.
Feel like like if you're not being heard or but I don't know. There needs to be more women in there to kind of help the other people that are trying to get into a group to learn more, especially with coding, because it's hard to when you're only online, it's really hard to understand how to start, from scratch. Having knowing someone in person really helps with that bridge right there. Because if you're
Yeah.
just if you're just doing it online, it's really hard.
Yeah, yes. No, I totally agree. I think that I mean, excuse me. I know, like, when you find a great online community, torque. I think that you get super lucky. But yeah, when you have a chance to like hang out and meet everyone in person, or some of the people in person, it does strengthen everything and make you feel better. I have two friends. We have a Code and Coffee in Houston, and I have two friends that I'll message to see if at least one of them are going. If I'm going, it's Susie or Sarah, and I and I want to make you want to make sure you have like a buddy. But all right, so I'm wrapping up. Is there anything else you want to add? Do you want to show off your animals? I see a little kitty boo walking
I
by.
can,
Um,
yeah.
Jeff, not all men are trash.
I stop. I feel bad because I kind of rambled about,
Oh
anyway,
my
I
gosh.
hope this comes off well or okay. And
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
like
I
a
think
brand
you're great. You're wonderful. And your cat is friggin' gorgeous.
new.
Mink too. Oh my gosh. Hang on, I gotta
She
take
likes
a
to play
screenshot.
fetch.
Look at the baby.
Oh, she's not happy. I'm picking her up.
She
She
is
only
so
does,
big.
yeah. She only does this when, because Melly's in here and she thinks he's gonna like just try to play with her.
Oh.
But yeah.
Okay. Let me put so if anybody would like to hang out with Rachel virtually, here's her LinkedIn, Rachael E. Brady. It's the fancy Rachel with the AEL.
That's like common now. Like when I
Oh,
was
really?
like young, it was hard to get those like signs with your name on it.
Oh, yeah.
But now
And
you can.
then, yes, this is her website where you can find her socials. I'm a little bit bitter about those nameplate things because it's always Roxy with the IE.
I like the way.
No. Yeah, thank you. Immediately made it onto my good list. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Do you have anything else you want to add, Rachel, before we
I
head
don't
out?
I know like we have short on time. There's other stuff I wanted to get into.
I mean,
What was
I
it?
don't
The
have to go, but I know that I told you this was approximately 30 minutes. We can keep going if you want, and people can head out as they need to.
well, so like the one of the questions I think we covered was like what was the one thing you did year one that you would
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
every woman to do, and then one thing I
Yes.
would skip. And I can do this real quick. So like for like the one thing I would go like back to for year one is to like if you want to learn how to code or if you're trying to get into something different, is instead of just using AI like chat GPT, get into like a book like by like I have this Jingo for impatient, like go through a chapter or two and go through it instead of just googling online because you get sidetracked a lot and there's just so many different
Oh,
answers on
yeah.
how or solutions on how to do it. um Try to like avoid boot camps until you kind of know what you're doing because you're going to want to learn how to use a terminal, like learn Linux commands. That's really important. I would say like that's like when you're a beginner, that's something you should really dive into. You can learn Git because that's if you're eventually you're going to collaborate with people, you're going to want to know how to manage your code with everybody. Um, using two. So this is you said like one thing I would tell, but some other things would be like don't have faith in people's documentation because sometimes it can be wrong.
You know what?
um, yeah,
AI notes. I feel like we should not put all of our faith into AI taking the notes for us.
yeah. And one thing I would skip was, and this kind of like goes back into what I talking about is like cargo cult programming. So skip those really short YouTube tutorials and dive into a book and do like a couple chapters. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to share this book too because like this is like a really special book. This person that wrote this, her name is Carla Schroeder. She was part of Linux Chicks, which was like an old like news group. Um, I think they had a website too, but she like you're gonna want to know Unix, whatever, Linux commands. I feel like that's like one of the very important things like to start out in, because you're gonna run into like Chat GPT will tell you how to, launch something through a terminal, and you're not going to know what you're doing unless you kind of understand a little bit of um, how that works.
And I'm sorry, because I know that we said we were going to talk about this, but do you want to tell us about your paranormal tools? And I mean, one of the
Oh,
first things I
sure.
noticed about you was that button, your ghost hunting button on your jacket when we met.
Yeah, that was a man's boat. I wish I should have brought my stuff out so I wouldn't be like walking all over. So we my friend and I started a group like probably I remember I said like 10, 12 years ago, called TOPS, Tennessee, Ohio Paranormal Society. We we love watching the like ghost adventures and stuff on TV, but we're skeptical because we, those shows are just to grab, more people to watch them, and not all of it's, real. So we're also like tech. So I built some static detectors, which is just like a 9-volt battery with an LED on top and a transistor, and the light will shine really bright when something's near it, and it will go out when it like moves. And that's like if my dog walked past it, it would react to him. So we would set those outside like in a hallway, and they would they would go off. Like we had videos of stuff like that. And um part of it was like, how can we prove that this is just an old house making noises versus versus a real ghost? But like there are some experiences we had where we couldn't explain what happened, which is makes you want to keep going back.
That's cool. So have you ever had like an actual freaky experience, or were you able to disprove a lot of things mostly?
Yeah, I had two out of all the places. One was it's called Sedansville Rectory in Cincinnati. There's a chess set on the second floor. Um, we just hear a loud bang sound. We run upstairs, and there's a piece on the ground, and something like moved it. And we did like, we call it sweeps, where we do a video of the entire area first when we enter the house, so that we can check it later for stuff that was changed. And that was one of the things, like the chess set was set up correctly, and then I believe it was a night piece that was on the floor. And that was, there's no windows open, so I don't know what
Wow,
happened there.
that's awesome. We have to maybe like closer to Halloween we can like do another episode and you can
Oh
just tell us
yeah, and
stories.
yeah, I could do that, and to talk about like, yeah, like the other thing I wanted to work with is Whisper AI. And I had a project set up for that, where you can like detect words. Um, so like one of the overused stuff is EVP, which is like a voice recorder, and you can hear um, like something being spoken. And Whisper AI would push that, more, where you could set up like Raspberry Pi, or have an app on your iPhone and have it listen, and it would, start displaying words on whatever that you can't hear. I don't, I don't know what causes that, but
That
it'd
would
be
be
fun.
the freakiest thing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. What the worst part, or the hardest part for me for ghost hunting, is going through the evidence in my house, because
Oh
like
geez.
I'll put on my headphones, and I'll have to like turn up the sound, and then I'm like watching, hoping something doesn't actually show up, in video.
Like please be nothing. Well, I'm so sorry that I tried to end early. Do you have
Oh,
anything else that you would love to share with us?
no, I
Whether it's
don't.
ghost
Yeah,
related or women empowerment, any like general advice, anything.
my advice is just just do what you want to do. Just don't, like, that way you don't get stuck on deciding that something's too hard. Because I used to do that until I realized like I just need to just try it, even if it's gonna fail. most of the time it doesn't, it works, it ends up working out. And talk about your projects to other people, because that really helps.
Yes, Hulk smash through the doors. I like that. I think that's going to be my most memorable thing of this. Okay. So I don't want to cut you off. Like, anything else you want to share? You know,
um
we,
yeah, I don't think so. Like, there's, yeah, so much stuff we can cover. Uh Feel free to reach out to me, online. I'll answer any question. I'm
yeah,
sorry
here's
if
her
I
website.
talk
All her
really
socials
slow.
are on there. No, you're good. I'm glad that you reminded me of the things that we wanted to discuss, because I was just like, oh, it's time. That means we got to go. But yeah, we're not that strict around here. Well, thank you again. And I guess hopefully I can end this without booting you. Thanks everyone that came and chatted and um, showed support for our first episode. Obviously, we both appreciate all of your support, and yeah, I'll see you online. Bye.